Hey guys, after Fairy Tail ended, a lot of you wanted us to cover more Fairy Tail content and suggested Juvia. So with that, here it is. And guys, remember to hit that like button and notification bell for more videos like this. So with that, let's get started. Juvia's name comes from the Spanish word lluvia, meaning rain. In Spanish, the double L is pronounced similar to the English sound between a J and a Y. Lluvia is actually derived from the old Spanish words lluvia and lluvia, which in turn is based on the Latin word pluvial, which again means rain. So lluvia simply meaning rain makes sense, right? It's pretty much the perfect name for a character who literally makes it rain. And looking at Juvia's last name, Loxa, as a whole you can say that it means being locked or to be locked. Combined with Juvia may be a meaning of to be locked to water or to be locked to rain. This all could be quite symbolic for Juvia's character as a whole. Hiro Mashima probably intended to put a huge emphasis on her name, basing it on her character. She also has a spell called Waterlock, which Mashima could have implied from her name. Although Juvia's name has a Spanish origin, Hiro Mashima didn't really intend to base any of his characters from our universe, but with that said, Mashima was definitely inspired by the different cultures in our world. This can even be seen with Juvia's attire, as it consists of a Russian Cossack style blue hat. Now this doesn't mean that Juvia is Russian, okay? Juvia's design concept was meant to represent the essence of water, hence Mashima illustrated her blue eyes and dark blue hair. In fact, her hair is rather wavy, a trait some say is a deliberate attempt to be the ocean. Unlike Erza and Lucy, Juvia doesn't have a great amount to her wardrobe. Juvia is usually seen wearing her trademark dark blue poncho with the white fur lining, along with a coat-like top with fur cuffing at the wrist. Her skirt has a slit on its left side, exposing a huge portion of her left leg, either for good old fan service or just due to practicality of actually moving properly in battle. She also wears a pair of thigh-length dark brown boots. At times she does change it up though. After coming to Fairy Tail, Juvia occasionally started wearing revealing clothing, maybe for grey, and it suggested that Juvia only has her underwear on beneath her coat. Anyway guys, let me know what you think of her wardrobe. Do you think Mashima did a good job? Do you like it? Would you wear her clothes? Let me know. Put it down in the comment section below. Juvia, much like some of the other members of Fairy Tail, has a deep backstory about her past. Now, if you guys watched our other Fairy Tail videos, you probably will come to the conclusion that Fairy Tail is a home for the broken-hearted and lost sheep. It's a place to fulfill the void of not having a family, and Juvia came with a lot of baggage. Now, she was born in the year X767, the same year Lucy was born. Mashima hasn't revealed a lot about her family. All we know is that Juvia's parents passed away when she was young. Some fans suggest that her parents died in a tragic marking accident similar to Batman, but I couldn't find any evidence implying this. What we do know is that Juvia spent her childhood shunned by the other children who are constantly making it rain around her. It is implied that the rain around Juvia is based on her psychological state. It is speculated that after the death of her parents, it seemed that her neutral state caused the rain. Yes guys, she was just constantly depressed. As Juvia grew older, she would overhear other people commenting on the gloominess of the rain around her, making her feel increasingly depressed. Like the girl is already sad and the people around her just making it worse. This is similar to a Naruto story. However, at one point of her life, Juvia actually managed to get into a relationship with Bora, the same douchebag we see in the first episode who claims to be Natsu and takes the guise of Salamander. Like, if you think about it, Juvia is actually really hot and she has a lot of insecurities, so I guess that douchebag Bora played on it. However, Bora became annoyed with her reign and broke up, which probably put her into further depression. After that, Juvia was eventually accepted into the Phantom Lord Guild and qualified to become part of an elite team Element 4, it being one of the first time anyone had accepted her. But even in that guild, Juvia didn't find true happiness, as she was still followed by the rain. After falling in love with Grey and joining Fairy Tail, Juvia lost her predisposition to cause rain, and I guess she did ultimately find some happiness. As previously mentioned in the last fact, Juvia is a S-rank mage and was in the Phantom Lord Guild, where she was part of an elite team Element 4. Juvia, being a pretty strong magician, controls the element water. She can produce, control and manipulate water, so she can use the water in many different ways, such as producing blades of water that can even slice through solid objects like rocks and metals, creating boiling beams, forming powerful waves with tremendous force to damage opponents, similar to like Pokemon when you use Surf, or even trapping opponents in a mini prison made of her water. She pretty much can suffocate you, so she can use Waterlock to trap you inside of a ball without oxygen. Juvia is literally the embodiment of water. Just try to imagine water taking form. Yeah, that's her. She has the ability to completely turn into water, seemingly without thought, allowing both physical and magical attacks to pass through her without hurting her, which is pretty awesome and OP if you ask me. Juvia can also use molding magic water make. Now let me put this into perspective. If you guys watch Avatar, then you would understand Juvia is like a waterbender and she can manipulate existing water, but it's not limited to pure water. She manages to control her own blood to transfer it into Grey to save him. Now this doesn't mean she has the power to bloodbend like Katara, as there are debates among the community that Juvia can not actually control water outside of herself and just within herself, if that makes sense. But yeah, with practice, imagine she can be OP, she'll be like controlling human beings. I would love to see a battle between Katara and Juvia. I want to see how that plays out. Her magic power also depends on her emotional state, as when she gets extremely angry, her magic power amplifies, which is seen when she easily overpowers Meredy, one of the 7 kin of Purgatory. Juvia also possesses the ability to perform a unison raid, allowing 2 mages to fuse their magic together. She done this with Lucy, and in the anime she also done this with Grey. With Lucy, she allowed Aquarius to use her body as a medium, and with Grey she let pillars of water rise in the sky and then allowed Grey to freeze it so it can rain needles of ice to their opponents. So yeah, Juvia is actually really strong, but she does sometimes get overshadowed by the other members of Fairy Tail. Alright guys, just like every other character we covered from Fairy Tail, we mentioned their stats, and now it's time for Juvia's turn. In Volume 32 extra content, Mashima provided the battle statistics for 31 of the 40 contestants in the Grand Magic Games. The stats, however, were provided not from Mashima's point of view as the author, but from the viewpoint of the Sorcerer Magazine reporter. You guys remember his name? Yeah, Jason was the dude, which explains why some of the stats are missing and why other may be inaccurate. But according to Jason from the Sorcerer's Magazine, during her final participation in the Grand Magic Games, Juvia's stats were 3 out of 5 for attack power, 5 out of 5 for defensive power, 4 out of 5 for speed, and 3 out of 5 for intelligence. She may not be smart, but come on, she tries. And 6 out of 5 for love unrequitedness. The Japanese dub for Juvia, Mai Nakahara, is the same voice for Nagisa Furukawa from Clannad, Haruna Naikawa from Durarara, Radandi from Sword Art Online 2, and Imagawa from Kill la Kill, just to name a few. In an interview with Fairy Tail magazine, when an interviewer asked Nakahara in what way does he feel similar to Juvia, Nakahara said, "First off, I am not a rain woman, ha ha ha," she laughed. "I may be similar to her in the way that we're both completely wholehearted when we're falling in love with someone, but our ways of expressing love are completely different. I can't be so straightforward the way that Juvia is. Juvia is so strong, isn't she? She uncontrollably spouts her feelings saying I love you, and she keeps facing Grey Summer even though she gets rejected. I don't have that kind of strength, so I want her mental strength. Ha ha ha," he laughed again. I hope you guys liked my dictation of that interview. A fun fact about the voice for Juvia is that in the interview with Sayaka Ohara, the voice actress for Erza, stated that she wondered who Juvia's voice actor would be when she first read the Fairy Tail manga. She mentioned that she would have liked to voice Juvia if she wasn't voicing Erza. She thought that Juvia has a mysterious air around her when she first appeared, and her Grey Summer love character had been escalating recently. She wanted to see how far Juvia would take it. She was happy when she found out that Nakahara would be playing Juvia, as they had worked together on a previous anime. They are very friendly with each other on Twitter and even sits next to each other in the recording studio. By the way, for those who watches the English dub, Juvia's voice is dubbed by Brina Palacia, the same voice for Yuna Gasai in Future Diaries, Seol Phantom High from Black Butler, Tony Chopper from One Piece, Shiatsu and Pure from Dragon Ball Z Kai, Holla from Spice and Wolf, along with many other great anime characters. Juvia's love life is pretty straightforward. She was practically shipped with Grey before her introduction. In the anime, episode 4, when Natsu, Lucy, Grey and Happy were ambushed by a group of hungry wizards, Grey was fighting the fortune teller guy who predicted Grey's future, and he said, "You will have problems with a girl and water," which foreshadowed Juvia, Grey x Juvia. Some say Grey was never going to be shipped with Erza or Lucy from the start, and Juvia's existence was solely for Grey, although I do think that's stretching it. However, Mashima's introduction of Juvia and her fanatic antics was also for comic relief. Mashima pretty much made Juvia canon, as in the manga chapters Grey and Juvia are always paired up together, and from volume 51 they live together for a year. Mashima also is shown to frequently post illustrations of his sketches of the two as a couple wrote on his Twitter account. He has drawn Juvia picking Grey's clothes up as he strips, Juvia with Grey keychain attached to her umbrella, Grey pulling Juvia close to him away from Natsu's harem. There is also an actual Gruvia Day in Japan, September 10, 2013, where Mishima drew a coloured version of the two to recognise the Gruvia Day. Along with the drawings, a fan asked Mishima how he sees Grey and Juvia, to which he replied, "I like this combination. Right now I like the one-way relationship, but I do not know what will happen for them in the future." But as the manga ended, we do know what happens in the future, and Juvia managed to finally lock down on Grey. Gruvia also played tribute in the mobile game Fairy Tail Ultimate Dance of Magic. For 2 years in a row, 2016 and 2017, Grey and Juvia are the bride and groom in a wedding event. The official tree also said these two are finally at last married. But yeah, I like the pairing of Grey and Juvia. Let me know what you guys think. Did you want Juvia to end up with someone else? Did you want Leon and Juvia to get together? Let me know in the comment section down below. As a child, Juvia was often bullied by other kids because it would always rain around her. She then started to make Teru Teru Bozu dolls. Now guys, if you don't know what these are, I'm going to give you a brief history lesson, so listen up. In Japan, children are taught from an early age about the wondrous powers of the Teru Teru Bozu, which translates to shiny bald head monk. The doll represents a monk's bald head and is made when bright sunny weather, which would make its head shiny, is desired the following day. While the tradition is well practiced and well known, many Japanese people remain unsure of the origin of the doll, seeing it instead as something they've simply been taught to do when good weather is required, ahead of the events like sports day, ceremonies and special celebrations. Traditionally, if the wish for clear sky was granted, the doll was rewarded with drawn on eyes and a dousing of holy sake and then sent down the river to be washed away. Yeah, that's right guys, the doll was rewarded. The Teru Teru Bozu even has a complimentary song, usually sung by children as the doll is being made, acting as the chant to invoke sunny skies the following day, in some ways similar to the chant you might be familiar with. Rain, rain, go away, rain, rain, come back another day. Yeah, you know that one. Yeah, that's the song. However, the lyrics to the song, which was released in 1921, actually give some sort of clue to the doll's origin and history. The free verse can be translated as Teru Teru Bozu, do make tomorrow a sunny day, like the sky in a dream sometimes. If it's sunny, I'll give you a golden bell. Teru Teru Bozu, do make tomorrow a sunny day. If you make my wish come true, we'll drink lots of sweet rice wine. Teru Teru Bozu, do make tomorrow a sunny day. But if the clouds are crying, then I shall snip your head off. Pretty damn dark for a kid's song if you ask me, but the origins of the Teru Teru Bozu still remains vague, with some saying the dark lyrics towards the end of the popular song refers to the good weather monk who was able to bring fine weather with an incantation. However, after promising good weather to a feudal lord, the sunshine did not appear as promised. The monk's head was chopped off as punishment. It is said that the monk's head was then wrapped in a cloth and hung outside to stop the rain to bring out the sun. Pretty deep. But in Juvia's case, after meeting Grey, she no longer wore the Teru Teru Bozu. Although Juvia is pretty weird and stalkerish, she is considered to be one of the most popular characters in the series. Juvia is ranked third in the Miss Fairy Tail contest, which was a popularity poll held to determine the most popular females in the series at that time. And Juvia is also said to be one of Mashima's favourite characters. And the director of the movie Fairy Tail Dragon Cry, Tatsuma Minamikawa, mentioned in his interview with Manga Tokyo that Juvia is his favourite character, dedicating extra scenes to her in the movie due to his fondness. In his own words, when asked who his favourite character is, he responded by saying, "There is a female character named Juvia Loxa who is obsessed with Grey. I like Juvia. She's funny and expressive. I like her so much that I gave her many scenes. I think people who like Juvia will enjoy them." So yeah, if you guys want to watch those extra scenes, make sure to check out the movie. Alright guys, blazing round time. Juvia was 17 when she was introduced. Born on November the 13th, year X767, the same year Lisana, Levi, Lucy and Max was born. Juvia is 163 centimeters or 5 feet 4 inch tall. He weighs approximately 46 kg or 102 pounds. And by fan speculation, Juvia's bust, waist, hips measurements are 92, 57 and 88. Juvia once was the owner of the celestial spirit banishment key Aries. Juvia also has many aliases, from Juvia the Great Sea, Juvia of the Deep, and she also goes by Amiona, meaning rain. That name is actually based off a class of yokai that appears on rainy days and nights. In Japan, Amiona, or the male equivalent Ami-Otoku, refers to an unlucky person that seems to be jinxed to have their rain follow them wherever they may go. Pretty much the description of Juvia from Volume 16 Limited Edition Sources interview. When Juvia was asked the best quality of Fairy Tail, she responded with, "For Juvia, it's a warm place. She wants to become Gray's bride in the future." When asked who she had a good relationship with, she replied, Gajeel-kun, which makes sense as she was teamed up with him before she joined Fairy Tail. When asked about the most difficult job she had taken, she responded, "As long as Juvia is working with Gray-sama, no job is difficult." And if you guys have not noticed, Juvia tends to refer to herself in third person. With that, it's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit that like button to show your love and support. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys like or even hate about Juvia. And do you reckon Mishima ended it okay? Personally, I would have wanted him to do a time skip showing us how everyone aged, if they had any kids, you know, so on and so forth. It would have been pretty cool. Oh, and sorry for my dyslexic pronunciation. Please forgive me by following us on all social media platforms to keep up to date. We are going to start using Facebook more regularly, so if you guys are on that platform, make sure to go on to a page and, you know, like that shit. Peace.
Are you ready to apologize? Are you ready to grovel at my feet and beg for forgiveness?
If living means bowing down to the likes of you bastards, I'd rather die on my feet with my head held high.